What an impressive show. Hello, my friends. I'm Carl Zha, your host to the Silk and Steel podcast, where I focus everything on China, history, culture, and politics. Many of you may have already seen or heard about the Chinese parade celebrating the 80th anniversary of the victory over fascism at the end of World War II. It widely exceeded my expectations. I'm even more surprised at how many people actually tuned in to watch. So I put together a compilation of Chinese military parades starting from 1949, the founding of People's Republic, all the way to the present, with my added commentary. Take a look. First up, this is the founding of the People's Republic ceremony on October 1st, 1949. The color footage was shot by the Soviet documentary maker Vladislav Nikosha, who was sent to China in 1949 to make a documentary on the founding of the People's Republic. This parade marks the beginning of the People's Republic of China. Many troops who participated in the parade, they're veterans of the Chinese army who fought in the World War II against the Japanese invaders and then fought in the Chinese Civil War against the nationalist troops. This parade is their victory parade. At the time, China had so few airplanes to do the flyover. So they decided to do a double run on the Tiananmen Square because the planes can fly at such high speed that to the people watching, it seems like China had a lot more planes than they did. And this is Tiananmen Square. It was fully packed with people. And next up is a parade in 1950, 1 year after. On October 1st, first anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic. Now, these troops were originally scheduled to liberate Taiwan, but President Truman sent the U.S. 7th Fleet into the Taiwan Strait in June 1950 after the Korean War broke out. So these troops were recalled back north, and right after this parade on October 1st in front of Tiananmen Square, they were sent to cross the Yalu River into Korea to enter into the Korean War against U.S. and the U.S.-led so-called UN forces. This is the Chinese military parade that happened in 1959, the 10th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic. Now, China held military parade almost every year after 1949. I just didn't. We're gonna run out of time to show every single one, but ever since the first parade in 1949, the troops have been inspected by the Chinese defense minister Peng Dehuai, who was the commander of Chinese forces in Korean War. But 2 months before the October parade in 1959, Peng Dehuai was removed from his office because his opposition against Mao's policy during the Great Leap Forward. So to replace Peng Dehuai, Lin Biao was appointed as the new defense minister. There's a Khrushchev. This will be the last time. This is the last time Khrushchev and Mao appeared together on Tiananmen Square, right before the Sino-Soviet split. Less than a year after this Sino-Soviet split would happen.
这里向全世界庄严地宣告了中华人民共和国的诞生。从此，中国历史进入了新的时期。10年。
And that's Kim Il-sung, the leader of North Korea, next to Premier Zhou Enlai. The newly minted defense minister Lin Biao will inspect this parade in 1959, after having been only on the post for 2 months. And 1959 is a difficult year for China because this would be the start of the Great Famine after the failure of Great Leap Forward.
中共中央政治局委员、北京市市长彭真同志宣布，庆祝典礼开始。100年来，无数革命先烈为祖国的独立、富强，为人民的解放、自由，牺牲了宝贵的生命。他们的英雄业绩。
That's a portrait of Dr. Sun Yat-sen, along with Marx and Engels, and of course Lenin and Stalin.
中国革命是世界无产阶级。
And there's a newly minted defense minister, Lin Biao, who will be inspecting the parade. This footage has been cleaned up and digitally restored. That's why you are seeing at much higher quality.
北方部长万岁同志，经过10多年，参加所谓的陆海空等代表部队列队完毕，请你给予卫兵总指挥上将要求。
国务院副总理兼国防部部长林彪元帅，在阅兵总指挥杨勇上将陪同下，检阅中国人民解放军3军部队。
中华人民共和国万岁！中国共产党万岁！好主席万岁！
解放军全体官兵对祖国、对党、对领袖抱有无限忠诚。分列式开始了。在革命斗争中成长壮大起来的中国人民解放军，高举毛泽东军事思想的红旗，从胜利走向胜利。 觉醒起来和团结起来的人民是不可战胜的，任何困难和障碍都阻挡不了我们阔步向前。我国的武装力量。 是一支保卫和平和社会主义的坚强力量。10年前，我们英勇的人民解放军，用从蒋介石军队手中缴获过来的美国武器，参加了开国大典。今天装备我们受检阅部队的最新式武器，绝大多数都是我国自己制造的。 我们解放自己的领土台湾和沿海岛屿，完全统一伟大祖国的愿望一定要得到实现，外国不得干涉。我国神圣的领土、领空和领海主权的完整必须受到尊重。我们绝不侵犯任何人，但是也绝不容许任何人侵犯我们。
That's Ho Chi Minh standing next to Mao. This part is not part of the military parade, but part of the general parade. I decided to leave in the clip because I really enjoy these ethnic
百花盛
dances.
开，我们的祖国永远是春天。
They feature different ethnicity of
党的
China
百花
and their
齐放、
tradition.
百家争鸣的方针，使我国的科学、文
And you
化、
see the
艺术事
peacock
业
and the people
出现了
following the
空前未
peacock
有的
card.
繁荣景象。
That's the ethnic Dai dancing from the southwestern province of Yunnan. They're performing the peacock dance, the traditional ethnic Dai dancing. And these are the floats honoring, that's the float honoring October Revolution. And these are the floats honoring traditional folk stories of traditional China. And that's a lotus float. And of course, dragon dance. After this appearance on Tiananmen Square with Mao, Khrushchev will go back to Soviet Union.
6亿
He
5千万
will
人民
break up
旺盛的生命力，
all the
像是
previous
汹涌澎湃的
cooperation
春潮
agreement
一
with
样，
China,
在
withdrew
社
all
会
the
主义各
Soviet
个战线上
advisors,
发挥出无比的
pull
力量
out all the joint Sino-Soviet joint project, and start the beginning of
领导
the
我国人
Sino-Soviet
民乘风破浪、奋勇向前的，是我们伟大、光荣、正确的中国共产党，是我国各族人民的伟大领袖毛主席。中国人民的胜利，是马克思列宁主义的胜利。 我们的天空有彩凤飞舞，我们的地上有巨龙翻腾，我们的生活像春天一样美丽，我们心里的歌永远唱不完。万岁，亲爱的祖国！万岁，伟大的人民！我们要用一支神奇的彩笔，写下最新最美的诗篇，画下最新最美的图画。人类能够做到的一切，我们都将能够做到。
Now, next up, this is a parade in 1984 held by Deng Xiaoping to celebrate the 35th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic. This will be the first military parade since 1959, because after 1959, because of Cultural Revolution, the military parade has been halted.
各位主席，庆祝建国35周年，首任部队列队完毕，请你检阅。阅兵总指挥，请就位。红木方队起立。同志们好。
这次阅兵是国庆10周年以来在天安门广场组织的第一次阅兵，也是建国以来规模较大、机械化程度最高的一次阅兵。
First parade in 10 years. Deng Xiaoping set the gold standard for the future Chinese military parade. All Chinese leaders following him will use the same template for the military parade.
同志们辛苦了！同志们好！同志们辛苦了！同志们好！同志们好！伟大的中华人民共和国万岁！伟大的中国共产党万岁！伟大的中国人民解放军万岁！全国各族人民大团结万岁！
Many of the troops that was gathered for the 1984 parade are actually veterans of the border war between China and Vietnam. In 1984, just 2 months before the parade, they just concluded the Battle of Lao San against Vietnam. From April 1984 to August 1984. So many of these troops came straight from the front line to be in the parade 2 months later. This will be the last time they will perform the presentation of arms with bayonets like that because it's too dangerous. One mistake, the guy in the front will be impaled on the bayonet. So 1984 parade is the only time they have done that. 1984 is also the first time women troops have been present for the parade, and this will
这
start
是
a
我
new
国阅兵
tradition.
史上第一次出现的女兵方队。骄傲吧，中国姑娘！我们不仅有3连冠的中国女排，而且有一往无前的中国女兵。再请检阅这支人民武装警察部队吧。这个部队组建以来，为保卫国家主权、保卫四化建设、促进社会治安的根本好转做出了贡献。
King of Cambodia, Sihanouk, who is standing together with Deng Xiaoping, after Khmer Rouge kicked him out of the country, King Sihanouk has lived in China for most of his life. Now, one more important thing to note about 1984 parade is this is the first time China included ICBM and strategic weapons to be on display. Because China only developed ICBM in 1981. And so 3 years later, they're displaying the Dongfeng missiles. The Dongfeng missiles were part of the Chinese strategic deterrent. And of course, the tradition now, ever since 1984, is to have a military parade at every 10th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic. In 1989, and that brings us to our latest parade, the celebration of victory over fascism at the end of World War II, the 80th anniversary of this victory. This is the parade that was just held in Beijing. And you can tell President Xi Jinping is following the template that was laid out by Deng Xiaoping on his 1984 parade almost to a T.
Comrade Chairman, the troops for review are fully prepared. Please proceed with the inspection. Chief Commander of the Parade, Han Zhengxuan. Let's begin.
Next, President Xi will pay an eye salute to the party national and military flags.
In a typical back and forth, President Xi says, "Salute to you, comrades." And the soldiers reply, "Hail to Chairman." The president then says, "Comrades, thank you for your hard work." To which the soldiers reply, "We serve the people."
Well, that concludes my presentation of the Chinese military parade from 1949 to the present. I hope you have enjoyed the show. Please write in the comments below what more you would like to see on my channel. This is Carl Zha. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.